I want to describe a feeling that I think most of you have experienced. And I want to describe it specifically enough that you know I'm not just talking in generalities. You open Blender, or you open whatever software you're learning, and for the first 30 seconds, everything is fine. You're going to do this. You're ready. You got a tutorial pulled up, you've got your coffee, you've got the time. And then you start. And within about 10 minutes, something is already not going the way the tutorial shows. Maybe a menu looks different. Maybe a shortcut doesn't work the way it did in the video. Maybe you're just slightly behind and try and catch up, and the gap keeps widening. And that thing in your chest starts. That low-level anxiety that says, I don't know what I'm doing. There's too much here. I don't even know what I don't know. Where do I even start? And here's what I used to do when that feeling hit. I'd close the tutorial, open YouTube, start searching for a different tutorial. Maybe this one will make more sense. Maybe this teacher explains it better. Maybe there's a course that lays it out more clearly. 3 hours later, I've watched 7 tutorial introductions, I haven't built anything, and the overwhelm has been replaced by a kind of numb exhaustion. Sound familiar? Here's what I know now that I didn't know then. That pattern, the overwhelm, the tutorial hopping, the paralysis has almost nothing to do with the software. It has almost nothing to do with how technical you are or how good your spatial reasoning is or whether you have what it takes for 3D. It has everything to do with how you're approaching the learning. Specifically, the order and structure of what you're trying to learn and when. And once I understood that, once I changed the approach rather than the software or the tutorial, everything changed. Not gradually, quickly, in a way that felt almost embarrassing in hindsight, because the fix was so much simpler than the problem felt. That's what today is about. Here's exactly what I'm going to give you. A specific, practical framework for learning 3D that eliminates the overwhelm at the source. Not by making 3D simpler than it is, but by changing how you sequence and structure the learning, so your brain is never trying to process more than it can handle at any given moment. I'm going to explain why overwhelm happens at a level that's actually useful, not just at a lot to learn, but the specific cognitive reason your brain hits the wall when it does. Because once you understand that, the solution becomes obvious. And I'm going to give you the exact practice structure that I wish someone had given me at the very beginning. Session by session, week by week, with specific guardrails that prevent you from falling into the tutorial hopping trap that kills more 3D learning journeys than any other single thing. By the end, you'll have a clear, concrete plan for your next learning session. Not here's some tips, an actual plan. Before we get into the framework, I need to tell you something about how your brain actually processes new technical skills. Because this completely changed how I think about 3D learning and honestly about learning anything complex. Most people think overwhelm happens because there's too much information, too many buttons, too many menus, too many things to remember. But that's not actually what's happening. Or at least, that's not the root cause. Here's what's actually going on. Your working memory, the part of your brain that processes active information in real time, has a strict, non-negotiable capacity limit. Cognitive scientists call it the cognitive load limit. And when you exceed it, when you ask your brain to simultaneously process more distinct pieces of information than it can hold at once, it doesn't slow down gracefully. It doesn't prioritize intelligently. It crashes, like a computer with too many tabs open. And here's the thing about 3D specifically. When you sit down to learn it the way most tutorials teach it, following along with a complete project from the very beginning, you're simultaneously asking your brain to process the interface, the tools, the workflow, the artistic decisions, the technical concepts, and the relationship between all of those things. All at once. From minute one. No brain can handle that efficiently. Not yours, not mine, not the most technically gifted person you know. The overwhelm isn't weakness. It's your brain's honest response to an unreasonable cognitive load. So the fix isn't to find simpler tutorials or to be more patient or to push through harder. The fix is to reduce the cognitive load deliberately, to structure the learning so your brain is only processing one category of new information at a time. And there's a specific technique that does this, one that feels almost counterintuitively slow at first, but that produces faster real learning than any tutorial following approach I've ever tried. I'll show you exactly what it looks like. But first, I need to tell you about something that makes the overwhelm worse, specifically for 3D, that nobody ever talks about. In 3D learning specifically, there's a particular type of cognitive load that doesn't exist in most other creative skills. And it's the reason 3D feels disproportionately overwhelming compared to, say, learning to draw or learning photography. In drawing, what you see is what you're working with. The paper, the pencil, the mark. The feedback is direct and immediate. In 3D, there are multiple layers of abstraction between your intention and the result. You're working in three-dimensional space, but looking at a two-dimensional screen. You're making decisions about materials that you won't see until you render. You're placing lights that behave differently in the viewport than in the final output. You're constantly translating between what you see and what you're creating. That constant translation, that layer of abstraction, is an additional cognitive load that beginners carry on top of everything else. And most tutorials never acknowledge it, which means learners assume the disorientation they feel is about not understanding the software, when it's actually about learning to see in a new way. Here's why this matters for how you structure your learning. Until that translation layer becomes unconscious, until navigating 3D space and reading a 3D viewport becomes automatic rather than effortful, every other thing you try to learn in 3D is harder than it needs to be. Because part of your cognitive load budget is being spent on the translation, leaving less available for the actual skill you're trying to learn. This is why the most important thing you can do at the very beginning of your 3D learning journey has nothing to do with modeling or lighting or materials. It has everything to do with making the viewport feel like home. I'll come back to this in the framework. Okay, here it is. Not a rigid step-by-step sequence. A set of principles that restructure how you approach every learning session, regardless of what you're working on. Principle 1, one new thing per session. This is the hardest principle to follow and the most important one. Every learning session has one new thing it's trying to build. Not 5, not the whole workflow. One session, I'm going to understand how lumen lighting works in UE5. Not how to model and light and texture. Just lumen. I'm going to experiment with it, move lights around, see what changes. I'm going to finish the session knowing more about lumen than I knew at the start. One session, I'm going to understand how edge loops work in Blender. Not the whole modeling workflow. Edge loops, what they do, why they matter, where to add them. The constraint feels artificial. It feels like you're going too slow. But here's what actually happens when you practice it. By the end of a session focused on one thing, you actually know that thing. You've processed it below the level of conscious effort. Next session, it costs you less cognitive load, which means next session, you have more cognitive load available for the next new thing. Breadth of exposure feels like learning. Depth of understanding is learning. Principle 2, build something broken. This one is counterintuitive. Here's what I mean. After every learning session, every time you've been exposed to a new concept or a new workflow, close the tutorial and try to build the thing from memory. Without looking anything up, without rewinding, without checking, you will build something broken. Parts of it will be wrong. Steps will be in the wrong order. Something won't work the way you expected. That's the point. The broken thing tells you exactly what you didn't actually learn. Not what you think you didn't learn, what you provably didn't absorb, because you can't reproduce it. That specific, precise information about your own gaps is worth more than any amount of passive tutorial watching. Because now you know exactly what to go back and focus on. Not the whole tutorial, the specific part that produced the broken thing. Build something broken. Fix the broken thing. Build it again without looking. Repeat until it's not broken. That cycle, not tutorial watching, is actual learning. Principle 3, make the viewport home first. Remember the hidden overwhelm multiplier, the translation layer between 3D space and your 2D screen that costs extra cognitive load until it becomes automatic. Before you try to learn any specific 3D skill, before modeling, before lighting, before materials, spend 2 full sessions doing nothing but navigating. Open Blender or UE5, or whatever you're learning. Don't follow a tutorial. Don't try to build anything. Just move around, orbit the camera, pan, zoom, move objects, rotate them, scale them, change the viewport shading mode, look at things from different angles. Get completely comfortable with the idea that you're working in three-dimensional space. This feels unproductive. It's not. Every hour you spend making the viewport unconscious is hours returned to you across the rest of your learning, because the translation layer stops costing cognitive load. The space becomes home, and everything you try to learn after that is learned in a home rather than in a foreign country. Principle 4, separate artistic from technical. This is one that I figure out only after a long time, and it genuinely accelerated my progress significantly. There are two distinct types of decisions in 3D work. Technical decisions, how to use the tool to achieve a result, and artistic decisions, what result to actually aim for. When you're learning, trying to make both types of decisions simultaneously doubles your cognitive load. Technical, how do I add a light in this scene? Artistic, where should the light go and what mood should it create? Both at the same time. Separate them deliberately. When you're in technical learning mode, don't worry about what you're making. Use a sphere, a cube, the default monkey head. The content doesn't matter. You're learning the tool, not making art. When you're in artistic exploration mode, use tools you already know how to use technically. Don't introduce technical complexity. Focus entirely on the artistic decisions. The moment you feel yourself doing both at once, stop. Ask yourself which mode you're in. Recommit to just that one. Principle 5, the 20-minute rule. Last one, and this is practical in a way that protects your learning sessions from the most common single failure mode. When you get stuck on something, a tool that isn't behaving the way you expect, a concept that isn't clicking, an error you can't resolve, give yourself a maximum of 20 minutes to figure it out independently. Set a timer. If you solve it in 20 minutes, great. You learn something durable. The struggle produced the learning. If you don't solve it in 20 minutes, stop. Write down specifically what you're stuck on. One sentence. I don't understand why my normals are flipping when I apply this modifier. Then do 3 things. Search for that specific problem. Ask in a community forum, or set it aside and move to something else. The reason for the timer is this. Getting stuck is fine. Staying stuck is demoralizing in a way that compounds. An hour of stuck produces anxiety and a sense of failure that poisons the next session. 20 minutes of stuck produces persistence and a specific question that can be answered efficiently. The timer keeps struggle productive instead of demoralizing. Here's what a week of learning using this framework actually looks like in practice. Session 1, Monday, 30 to 45 minutes. Goal, make the viewport home. Navigate, orbit, move objects, get comfortable. No tutorial, just exploration. One new thing discovered about the interface. Session 2, Wednesday, 30 to 45 minutes. Goal, understand one specific tool. Watch enough tutorial content to understand that one tool. Build something broken using it. Note what broke. Session 3, Friday, 30 to 45 minutes. Goal, fix what broke in session 2. Go back to specifically the part that was unclear. Rebuild without looking. End the session with that one tool genuinely understood. Weekend, optional. Build something small using only what you've learned so far. Doesn't have to be good. Has to be finished. Notice what's not in this week. Tutorial marathons. Multiple new concepts. Hours of passive watching. Trying to catch up to someone else's pace. 3 sessions. 45 minutes each. 2 hours and 15 minutes of actual learning. And at the end of the week, you genuinely know 2 or 3 things rather than sort of knowing 20. That compounds. Week 4, you genuinely know 8 to 10 things. Week 8, you have a foundation. Not because you worked 8 hours a day, because you built genuine knowledge instead of performed it. Now, here's something I want to flag that comes up every time I share this framework with someone who's been in the tutorial hopping spiral for a while. They hear all of this. They nod. They think, yes, this makes sense. This is clearly a better approach. And then they sit down for their next learning session and they open YouTube and start looking for tutorials. Not because the framework didn't make sense, because the pull of tutorial watching is incredibly strong, stronger than most people give it credit for. And the reason it's so strong is actually interesting and worth understanding if you want to break the pattern. Tutorial watching feels like learning. It has all the surface characteristics of productive effort. You're focused. You're absorbing information. You're making progress through the video. Your brain releases mild satisfaction signals throughout because you're understanding what's being shown. It feels good. Building something broken feels like failing. Even when it's working exactly as intended. Even when the broken thing is precisely the learning mechanism, it doesn't feel like progress. It feels like evidence that you don't know what you're doing. And our brains, given a choice between something that feels like progress and something that feels like failure, will choose the feeling of progress every single time. Even when the feeling is misleading and the failure is actually the learning. Breaking that pattern genuinely, durably, requires something more than understanding the framework. It requires a specific commitment structure that makes the right practice the path of least resistance rather than the path of most resistance. And the specific commitment structure that I've found most effective, the one that actually keeps people in the productive practice rather than drifting back to passive watching, is something I want to go through in detail in the next video. Because the framework without the commitment structure is something you'll apply once and abandon. And I don't want that for you. So, the fastest way to learn 3D without feeling overwhelmed. The overwhelm isn't about you. It's about cognitive load, your brain being asked to process too many new things simultaneously. The fix isn't patience or a better tutorial. It's structure. 5 principles. 1 new thing per session. Build something broken and fix it. Make the viewport home before everything else. Separate artistic from technical decisions. And the 20-minute rule for when you get stuck. 3 sessions a week. 45 minutes each. Genuine knowledge instead of performed knowledge. And understand the hidden overwhelm multiplier. That 3D has a translation layer that costs extra cognitive load until it becomes automatic. Build that automaticity first. Everything after gets easier. Your plan for this week: 1 session, 1 new thing. Build something broken with it. Write down what broke. That's it. That's the beginning. Subscribe if this kind of honest, brain-first approach to creative learning is what you need from this channel. Hit the bell for the next video because the commitment structure, the thing that keeps you in the productive practice rather than sliding back into tutorial watching, is the piece that makes all of this actually stick. Drop a comment. Which of these 5 principles do you think you need most right now? And have you been in the tutorial hopping spiral? Be honest. I read every single one. I'll see you in the next one.